Hi, it's me, it's Carla, the Cosmic Crone, and I'm speaking with you today about Wise Women Lead with Faith. So I was out mowing and I didn't quite get finished, so I'm going to go back out after. Wonder, oh yeah, I'm going to leave my hat on. Mowing hair doesn't quite work. Oh, it's great to be with you today. I'm going to check out this and share it to the Wise Women Lead group. Excuse me for a minute while we go. I found it. Share to the group. And that's done. So I've been speaking with you for several days about the qualities, challenges, and powers, really, of wise women leaders. We are amplifying crone energy in this era because that's what the world is calling for. So yesterday I began with a conversation about align to your vision. Wise women leaders align to the vision. And this is a practice. This is something that it's got its challenges, especially when the vision is very big, because visions, big visions, any vision really, requires that we grow into it. So today I was meditating, continuing to meditate on the topic of aligning with vision. And I realized that aligning with vision is really another way of talking about faith. So what do I have to say about faith? Faith is a mystery. And I believe it might be, I wonder if it's easier to think about faith in terms of aligning with vision. Our minds can almost get around that a little more easily because faith is not really, no, I don't, what is faith? Does anybody know what faith is? Why don't you put it in the comments? Faith, I started to say faith is really not about the mind, and I'm not sure that's true because faith honestly requires an act of will, just as align with vision requires an act of will. And it's because it's a practice, a discipline, which is about aligning your will with something. And when I was young and went to church, they didn't really talk about aligning my will with God's will, but they did talk about submitting to God's will. And I think that's something entirely different. And I believe I am sure that there is a drop of toxicity in the idea of submitting to God's will because it puts the power outside of you. And the fact is, our power is our power to decide, to choose over and over again, to align with the vision, to align with divine intention, divine providence, to align with what we want, to put it very simply, to align with the highest good. And that's faith. So aligning with the vision means that you see very clearly that which you want, that which you're creating. And you have faith that you'll be able to do it. That you have faith. Faith happens in so many layers. Faith happens in the layer of magic, which believes that it's already done. And I say magic, I mean really universal law. Universal law says if you have a desire, it already exists, and the way to receive it already exists. And chances are you already know what that is, even if you're not quite aligned with it yet. So So faith means I want this. I create this. I desire this. I am called to this. And I can see it. And the reason I can see it is because it's real. It exists. And so that's one kind of faith. The other kind of faith is the faith that gives you the courage from where you're standing right now to step on the path, to start doing what you need to do and being who you need to be to actually receive your desire, to align with that vision with the very first step. That takes faith. And then the middle layer of faith is the faith that I'm not sure I know how to do it, but I know I can learn, or I know I'll get the help I need. I'm not sure how I'm going to pay for it, but I know the money is there. The money will come, and I'll be shown how to get the money. Hi, Joy. It's always so good to see you. I'm talking about faith and how aligning with vision, which I started yesterday, if you haven't seen it, is another way of talking about faith. And I find faith very challenging, and I think it's because of what I learned about faith as a child. It's actually not exactly true, therefore it doesn't really work. So as we speak, I am telling my heart to teach me what it really knows about faith. So I hope you find it valuable too. So faith says, I will keep going forward, and I will commit to this vision, and I will believe in this vision. Ooh, I'm going to make a note. Tomorrow the conversation is about belief, which is a little different from faith. And I don't know which one comes first. This is a holistic thing. These things are all there, and you kind of grab the one you can see, grab the one you can reach and begin. So faith is the courage to take the first step. The knowing that it's there, seeing it with so much confidence and commitment and belief that you know it's inevitable. You are bound to meet up with this destiny. And then faith is what gets you through all the steps in between. I was talking to someone the other day who's been working for probably close to 15 or 20 years on building an art studio. And it has just taken so many steps. And I've been working on creating Cosmic Crone Incorporated, Cosmic Crone Ltd. I don't know exactly what the business looks like, but I've been working on that for years, and I didn't even know that that's what it was for a long time. But I've just followed each step where I have been directed, and now I'm here to where something is like, I can see it. Can you see it? It's right there in the palm of my hand. And now that I can see it, I can really ramp up the faith. Because some of us, it's kind of like what I was talking about yesterday when I first introduced the idea of Align with Vision. We do it a lot, unconsciously or semi-consciously. For me, it was moving to Maine. That was a vision, and then buying my house, which I still owe you part of that story. I don't know if it fits in with here. It kind of does, because I'm going to tell the story of how I bought my first house in Maine. I saw it in the newspaper. When we got a subscription to the local newspaper, had it mailed to our home in New York, and I kept seeing this house every single week, and it was more than I believed I could possibly afford. And then when I got to Maine and I was house hunting, the price had dropped till it was in the range that I could imagine. And we made an offer. And we did the calculations very carefully based on what we knew about our finances. We were not exactly dreaming big. We were we were trying to fit the dream into our reality, which is one reason why it worked unconsciously, and also one reason why it almost didn't work, because our reality changed. My husband got laid off while we were in the middle of these negotiations, and I went into a panic. You could say that I lost my faith, at least for a minute. I lost sight of the vision, and I was really afraid that the whole thing would fall apart, that we wouldn't be able to afford it. And so we went back to the negotiating table, and we had a clause in the contract that we, based on certain things we might find on inspection, we would renegotiate. And that's what happened. We did find something on inspection. We negotiated to a lower price that once again put us back into our comfort zone for monthly payments and a mortgage. And they said yes. But oh my God, was I terrified. I can honestly say I must have still been aligned with the vision because it worked. I must have somehow had some faith. But mostly I was just praying. I was praying from a place of, what if I've screwed this up? What if it doesn't work? What if they say no? And the fact is, we would have been fine either way. It worked in spite of my lack of faith. Somehow the momentum of aligning with my vision pushed everything through. Things were lined up in our favor. So we bought that house. And I heard from my realtor later that it was like the most famous deal in Knox County in 5 years. They couldn't believe it, that we got it for that price. But it was meant to be, literally. It was that house, that land. It was the land that called me, not so much the house. Although the house worked. We still had 2 kids at home, and we needed a house with some space. But it was the land that called me, and the land that began to teach me and put me on my spiritual path. I was a country girl that moved to the city, rejected everything country, and was basically starving to death for nature. And I kind of knew it, but I didn't understand what was going to happen when I put my feet on the earth again. And that's one reason I'm wearing this hat, and you can't really see it, but maybe you can. I'm covered with mud because I've been out mowing here. Mowing is one way I pray. I go out, I walk every inch of the land with the mower, and I selectively mow around flowers and pollinator food, and I listen. I can actually hear the land through my feet over the din of the mower. So I'm going to go back out now and finish mowing because the land has more to tell me today. So to sum up what I spoke with you about, what I'm talking about today, what we're exploring is faith. And faith keeps working with aligning the vision. And leaders, here's what leaders have, first of all, and I'm not sure I've even talked about this yet. Leaders have a vision. Wise women leaders are participating in a vision to change the world. And the beautiful thing about that is that our lives and our selves, our gifts, our energy is enough to change the world. There are people in the world who do big things, like Oprah. There are people in the world who do small things, and we never know about it. There are small people who make a viral video that touches millions, and suddenly they're doing big things. And, it's know what your vision is. Study it. Study yourself. Study your gifts. Study what you love. Feel into it. And know that it's yours. You can do it. and then align with it. And that activates faith. Oh, there's so much more to say about it because I'm looking straight at you and seeing, yeah, there's the vision. Here's the path, although the path really sometimes looks like this. It goes, and sometimes the path seems to go like this, and then it goes, and then all of those, I think that's the thing I want to close with. When the path seems to take you back to before, before you even knew you had the vision, when you seem to be going backwards, when things fall apart, when you think you might be dying, that's when faith comes in and aligning or perhaps realigning with the vision. And that's kind of in the big scheme of things. The timeline includes realigning with the vision in faith that you didn't screw it up, that it's not over, that you weren't wrong the whole time. You just look at it and say, do I still feel it? Is my heart still beaming that way? Is my womb still guiding me in that direction? And if you've got a yes, then pick yourself up, wrap yourself in faith, set your sights on the vision, and start walking again. And I think that's where I am. How about you? I'd love to hear whether you've had experiences like this, if you'd be willing to share in the comments. Let's talk about it. We have things to teach one another. And now I'm going to go back out and continue praying as I mow around the garden. That is one of the sacred spaces. No one else is allowed to mow that but me. Okay, I'll see you again tomorrow. 2 things are happening tomorrow. Divine Feminine Astrology reading and more Wise Women Lead. Divine Feminine Astrology reading is going to be in the afternoon. I don't know when I'll do Wise Women Lead, just probably as soon as I know what I'm being asked to talk about. So have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.